How you guys doing? Good? Nice to see you guys. Yeah, happy post-Thanksgiving.
What do you think about those shirts?
I love them. Yeah, it feels like when you put it on, like you're at work. So I like it. I like that feeling. So I got to switch up a mindset, when you get here. Yep.
How was your day?
Good, really good. Yeah, solid day. Happy to be back and rolling. So, but it was good. It was short-lived, a lot of food, and now I'm kind of paying the price for it. Feel like pretty fat today, but it's okay.
Checking out the Giants, and it's Michael Gabriel.
Yeah, Gobi. Yeah.
What is he?
He's doing a great job. I know Gobi. Gobi's a good friend of mine, but he's doing a really good job in year two with them. I mean, there's no drop off in terms of how they're playing around, and their return units are very good. They're consistent. They're very good in coverage. They got a really good core group of guys. They got veteran guys on the group, but also young guys as well. They're playing really well for them. And they got Koo back there kicking, who's been a solidified starter in this league. The punter's a lefty, different guy than we've seen throughout the league, and snapper's been around for a long time. So again, a solid crew doing a really good job. It's going to be a test. I say it every week, but it's true because every team I feel like we're playing right now is solid all around on special teams. So I'm excited for the opportunity, and we'll see how it goes.
What did you see from Kyle on the kickoff returns last week?
Just a guy, man. I love the way he played. Just kind of. He's a speed guy, right? And then on top of that, in this new dynamic kickoff, you can't really have any fear back there. You got to go and run through the smoke. And I feel like he did that, especially on that last kickoff return where he almost broke it for a touchdown. But he had a really good mentality throughout the game, was confident catching it, just getting forward, getting vertical, finding the vertical seam and hitting it. And that's what he did, and hopefully continue to do that, with whoever we line up this week. And just like I said, we're training all the guys throughout the year, right? Developing guys. He was the next one to step up this week or last week, and he did so, and we'll see what happens this week.
How proud have you been of Andy this season, just his development and his growth, and then obviously the big performance last Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a guy that doesn't share a lot of emotion, show a lot of emotion. I love that about him. Whether he misses one, makes one, he just kind of is even-keeled, and he does a great job of listening to Coach Vrabel, listening to Coach Quinn, and myself throughout the week. He takes care of his body, and that's just, I think the biggest thing about him that I like is he's very coachable. He's not one of those guys who's stuck in his ways or stuck in how he's done things for a number of years. He's always looking for improvement. And if you tell him to do something, he's going to do it. If he doesn't like it, he'll tell you. But if he likes it, he'll tell you too. So, he's just one of those guys easy to work with. And when they're easy to work with, that's always a good thing.
Mike talked about that trio, and it's kind of big. You see one of them, you see three. They're always together. They're always together. They're always working together. I'm curious. He also mentioned the fact that Bryce has kind of taken on a bit of a leadership role with those two. What, in your opinion, has Bryce done maybe with that group that's allowed them to have that level of success?
I think just showing them the way, throughout the week of preparation. That's the biggest thing that Bryce. I told him whenever we drafted those guys, and I said, hey, bro, you're the veteran now. You're not a young guy like you were in the past couple of years. You've been around veterans before. You know how it is to work with Slater and Cardona, those guys. I want you to show those guys how it is to work throughout the week, how to come to meetings early, how to be prepared, how to watch film, how to take care of your body in the training room and the weight room. And he's done those things pretty consistently. And I think he's helped those guys, kind of stay out of the way, be quiet, get work done, and just do your job. And that's been good to see.
How much of an adjustment is it when someone like Brendan is out of the game, like he was last week?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a guy that's your core, best overall special teams player, all pro, it's never easy to just because he's on everything, right? So you never you plan on it, but you never really think about it, kind of. And when it happens, you gotta adjust on the fly and kind of put guys in places where you think they can play or where they played before in the past and roll from right there. And I thought our guys did that in that game. We had to move guys around. A couple guys had to come in and play like Jalen Hawkins, who hadn't been a starter on defense, right? He had to play special teams and didn't bat an eye. So I think it shows you the kind of guys that we have in the room. Like, hey, man, next guy in, next guy up, no matter who it is, go in there, perform, and get the job done.
That was awesome being placed on injured reserve. How difficult is it going to be to replace him, and what was he able to give you when he wasn't on the field?
I mean, AA was continuing to get better and better every week. It's always, whenever you lose a guy, it's a core guy for you. It's always tough because, you put a lot of effort into those guys, and they've been doing a lot of effort as well in developing. And then when they go on IR, it's always a tough deal. So, but again, like I just said about Jalen Hawkins, right, it's the next guy up. Next guys that we bring in, get ready for the game. Now they got to take on that role, and there should be no drop-off. You got to come in and perform, and where there's an expectation in the locker room, amongst the team, amongst the culture, to go get the job done, no matter who it is. And that's how we all prepare as starters. And that's what Coach Vrabel always talks about. Like, next guy up, you're preparing as a starter, so you should be ready to go.
With a guy like Jalen, did he get regular reps during the season to this point, or were a lot of his reps early in the year? I guess training camp and so forth, to try to prepare guys for contingencies, inevitabilities down the road.
You do it throughout the week. I mean, everyone has a backup throughout the week, and you kind of just try to plug and place those guys in different roles and in different situations, and we've done that. So someone like Jay Hoggins, who was a core guy for me last year, right? You know, he's been in those roles before, so it's easy to kind of get him in, try to talk to him on the sideline, and get ready to roll.
You had an amazing situation last week with the field goal protection unit, just with like bizarre circumstance of like when a player's out of the game. How did you adjust to get Hunter in for Morgan and then Will in, you know, for whoever he was going in for? Like, how's that going on?
I mean, you just kind of have to do a good job on the sideline and communicating that, making sure that throughout the week you have contingency plans on that, which I do because you only have 8 O-linemen throughout the week. So really, you know that going into the game, so you have those plans like laid out on the depth chart and on a piece of paper that I have. So when things like that started happening in our game, which they did a lot of in that last game, you just kind of have a plan, and you hope you're able to communicate that on the sideline. And if you can't tell the guy on the sideline, then hopefully you tell an O-lineman that's on the sideline to tell the other guy on the O-line, on the field when he gets on the field to do this. So you just kind of have to kind of prepare that way, and it's just the way it is in the NFL, right? Because you only have 48 guys.
But like, how deep? I mean, I assume if you have a sheet like that sheet, you could keep going, but at some point you got to sort of stop because.
Oh, it stops. Yeah, it stops pretty quick. It's just like you just kind of have to figure it out after that, and kind of roll the dice a couple places, and hopefully you put guys in places where they're not getting the pressure from, and hopefully the operation beats the pressure. Yeah.
Farms done any of that during the week, or?
Yeah, Farms had never played field goal, so yeah. So you just kind of have to teach them on the sideline and get on the field and go. Yeah.
Speaking of Farms, Durden, I've heard some coaches say that they think sometimes the blocks, you see a rise in blocks as injuries start to multiply because you're putting guys out there that aren't accustomed to blocking, maybe defensively. How difficult is it when you teach those guys how to protect?
I think the hardest part of it is you don't really go full speed in practice on field goal block. So the first time they're getting hit is going to be on Sunday. So you just got to make sure the technique is there, and they get the foundation of what their feet and their arms, their hands, their eyes, what that needs to do, and then just prepare them. Hey, on Sunday, this is how it's going to look. Show the film, and you just got to get your mind right, you know, because it's just different. We're not going to go full speed field goal block in practice. So get your mind right, understand the technique, and be ready to have low pad level and strike as well, and let's get the ball up. Execute.
What did you see from Braden Swinson in his career debut?
Good, man. Like you said, he went in there, didn't bat an eye. He was confident. He had a good look in his eye, and he played hard. And those are things right there, especially in game one as a professional athlete. I bet I've never been in that situation. It's probably pretty tough, but he went out there, didn't bat an eye, and did a good job. So continue to see him progress, develop him, put in more roles, and hopefully that continues to help us out as a team here in December, January.
Going back to the your point about Andy and coachability, what's the balance with specialists between coaching them but also giving them their desired space? Because a lot of those guys have their own routines, their own coaches on the side.
I think everyone's different. I think it's like with anything, right? I mean, I just kind of base it off the kid and how it is when you do coach him hard, how he reacts. If he's making all his kicks and I haven't told him much, like, okay, well, then you probably don't have to say much to him. He has a really good routine where he likes it, he feels comfortable, and he's making all his kicks. It's whenever like things aren't going good for that player, and maybe they have their own way of doing it, it's not working. So now I can intervene and just help him out with some things and talk to Coach Quinn, Coach Vrabel, and kind of go with a different plan. But I think it all varies on the person, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of y'all's weekend.